What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show. Sorry, we are a little bit late today. We have had a crazy day today so far. Wherever you guys are tuning in from, what I want you to do is I want you to share the stream out. This is free. We don't market it. We just do it just to give you guys the information necessary to take your marketing and business to the next level. How you doing today, Serena?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I was falling asleep there waiting for you for a while. Busy man today, Jared. Busy, but that's a good thing.
They say there's no rest for the wicked, is there, Serena?
Gosh, I have to think about that because I'm not sure if I've ever been wicked before.
Yeah, I reckon we're pretty darn wicked because, that's why we've got so much going on.
If you put it that way, then that means I am wicked because I don't rest. I don't do the nanny naps or get that, tired feeling in the afternoon, and often can go late at night. So, yeah, all right, I'm going to go with it. We're wicked.
Go roll with it, wicked. And we've got love bombs for you on here who just said hello. So from Sydney, Australia, AU on your YouTube as well, Serena. So whoever love bombs for you is, welcome to the stream. So today, guys, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about, staying in your lane and focusing on what you're best at. Had a couple of conversations earlier today about this, right? And if you look at business in general, we get into the world of business around what we do because we are good at something, okay? Or we're got a passion for something, or, we have a certain set of skills that if we just did more of that and we added more value with our skills as a business owner, we could do so much more, right? And what a lot of businesses have a tendency to do, right? And I can understand this too, because this is how I started, right? I started doing what I was best at, which was selling, okay? And all I did was teach people to sell and sell myself. And that's what I did. And that's what I was really good at. And then I realized when I started in business that I had to sell a product, right? And to be able to sell a product, I needed people that were interested in the product, right? So I started diving deep into the realm of marketing and how do you market yourself? How do you stand out? How do you get people to come to you and not go to your competition and all these different things, right? And I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in bloody marketing. And my first $10,000, as you guys know as well, I spent on marketing. I didn't get anything in return as well, which is a very hard lesson to have. And hence the reason why we got to where we are today. I mean, a lot of people started asking me, how do you market, right? Because we were training people on selling and they were doing so well. And then they got to a point where they needed more people to speak to. And they're like, okay, what are you doing with your marketing? We started training it. And then eventually we found out, Serena, what did we find out? We found out that people just needed it to do it for them. So we decided to just do it for them instead. And now we've started a full agency that does this, right?
Yeah, because, I was thinking about it like earlier on today. As much as we can give out all the information that we give out, as much as we try to tell people, we can tell them every single thing there is from A to Z and all the bits that people don't even think about. But the bottom line is, one, do you have the time to actually try and learn how to do it? Because you just won't be able to go and implement it straight away. And two, we have where we do with you, so people who are actually doing it but then come to us to get the information to help them. It can take 2 to 3 times longer and maybe not quite have the same understanding around it, especially if you've been doing it a long time like we have. Or 3, do you just sort of look, I don't really know this stuff and there's a lot involved, and I don't expect someone to walk into my business and be able to know what that business is all about and be able to implement it straight away. So it's the same the other way around. And that's why the done for you is most important. Knowing somebody who knows the stuff, and this is in anything, it's like called outsourcing, you go and find the people who do know what they're doing and just get them to do it for you. How much time does that save you in the long run? How much money does it save you in the long run? Because people do not give themselves, most people do not give themselves an hourly value. So the value you
No.
spend sitting there trying to do it all yourself is where you can, I guess, lose the control and the knowing of what it's all about. So yeah, very passionate about this, as you can tell.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I must say, because we were speaking with a business partner of ours yesterday, and how there's like big corporations now have actually launched like a new role in their companies as well, which is a CRO, which is a Chief Revenue Officer, right? It's a new role. You can Google it, CRO, Chief Revenue Officer. It's a brand new role that large corporations have put in place now as well. The other side to it is a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. Okay. And big companies have chief marketing officers, chief executive officers, chief revenue officers, and head of sales, all these different things, right? And as business owners, we take on all of these roles to start with. But what you really what I find is, the reason why we've been able to grow companies a lot faster now too is because we've been able to say to them, look, we become your CMO, right? We become your chief marketing officer for your company that takes care of your marketing activities to help you make sure that you speak to the right people, make sure that you are marketing to the right people, make sure that your systems are set up, make sure that your business is automated as much as possible so your sales team can jump on the phones and speak to more people every single day and be able to automate parts of the process as well so that they can just be on the phone selling more products. Because every business, if you look at it, large corporations, medium corporations, small businesses, corporations, etc., they all have people that work for them that do specific roles. So they have salespeople that do sales, right? What's their role? Their role is to go out every single day, speak to people about the product service, and sell the product and service. So they jump on the phone, they get in the car, they do in-person meetings, they go to networking groups, they meet people. That's what a salesperson does. Your marketing guy, what does your marketing do? He makes sure that your brand presence is structured correctly online. He makes, or she, right, makes sure that you have your marketing running every single day, make sure that they're tweaking the process. What else does your marketing person do? They post on your pages, they keep your pages up to date and make sure that your followers see what's going on. They're looking for opportunities to be able to grow your following, right? They're consistently looking at your marketplace. They're going, okay, cool. What's trending? What's working well? They're looking at news articles and things like this. So a lot of you may not know, also run another company here in Perth called First Home Brokers, which we're actually doing a few changes to and everything at the moment and rebranding. But with that company, there's been a lot of things that go into the news recently as well around 3-year build times, around how rent prices have skyrocketed now. And it's actually cheaper to get a mortgage than it is to rent in Perth, Western Australia, right? All these different things can be used as marketing angles, and this is what your marketing team looks at, right? So, whether you're in startup or whether you are established, you're doing over 100 grand, you're doing over 250, you're doing over 500, you got to start looking at getting these roles filled. People that are responsible for these specific areas of your business, right? Keeping your website up to date, making sure that, it's running fast. Search engine optimization, getting it further up Google. So, you're taking care of organic traffic, your social media platforms, growing your following so that you can then speak to more people when you post, right? We've got pages that reach in 28 days 1 million accounts. So the amount of traffic that comes off these Instagram accounts that we've got access to or that we run, right? The amount of traffic that goes through this is insane. So it's like, how do you now grow that side? And let's face it, marketing is changing every single day, right? The way the business is done is changing every single day, right? As if you bring on a chief revenue officer into your business, right? CRO, that person would be looking at your strategy, your higher level systems, your higher level employee engagement, all these types of things, right? To be able to increase revenue. Because every time you have to train up, like I did this stat many years ago, Serena. I think I've mentioned to this before. Did I mention this? What it actually costs a business to employ, train, and retrain a salesperson when they have to get someone new. Did I tell you that? What it costs physically?
You could have. It's probably in the back part of my brain right now.
$55,000 it costs.
Oh, so that means you would really want to make sure you train someone really well that hangs around.
Exactly. That's why, employee engagement is so important these days as well, which a lot of people don't know these types of things, because there's, how much it physically costs for somebody, but there's also in sales, there's revenue lost as a result of them not being equipped with the right training to be able to do their role more effectively. Because, in the early stages, you train them on products, you train them on process, you're doing all these things, and they will miss deals or they will lose deals, right? Because they're not as well equipped in the early stages as somebody who's been there 2 to 3 years. So there's like an opportunity cost of, opportunity missed as a result of, you're training this person up, giving them the right systems, training them, like you're giving them everything that you've got to win, right? And that will happen. But, that is one thing that you'd have like a chief revenue officer that would take care of, right? So these are just the things that you've got to understand as a business owner, because you have things that you are really good at. And if you just did more of those and you brought other people in to do other parts of the business, because look, let's face it, we can't do everything as business owners. Isn't that right, Serena?
We tried. We definitely tried, and sometimes when you first start a business, you have to do everything. It's like one of our clients now, she's exhausted trying to keep up with everything, but she's doing stuff for now. She's in the middle of a workshop. She's preparing another one for the future, and then she's trying to work out what she can do that can become evergreen and keep it going so that it works when she can't. And I said to her, sometimes at the beginning of a business, you just have to do that, to get to where you need to be, even if it means working day and night. And then when you start to pick up and get your processes going, then you can start bringing people in to take some of the load off you, but have your whole format set up so that you can, step into it.
And this is where the marketing side comes in, right? We asked her the question today. The marketing campaigns we helped you set up, what is it? Like, how many leads have you got? How many sales have you made? So we can work out, and how much have you spent, right? Because we wanted to work out what her cost per acquisition of a client is, right? People are probably not going to believe this, but she had 12 leads, right, come through this month. She sold 6 of them. She spent $66. So, in fact, it's costing her $11 on her ads, her Facebook ads, to make $500. How many times can you do that again?
That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty bloody awesome, all right? It's completely out of this world. I mean, does that always happen? No, right? It doesn't always happen. We got a fair few key clients actually that are doing that. But not with $500 products. It's with beauty services and hairdressing services and things like that we've been able to do those types of results. But these are the things that you guys have got to really understand, right? And from a higher level business, right? Whatever your best thing in world is really good at, you just want to be then the person that looks at these departments and determines how these departments are performing. And that's why it's really good. Like, if you just continue to do a lot more of what you're really good at as a business owner, and then you pass all of this across to a chief revenue officer, a chief marketing officer for your business, right? And regardless of whether you are a large corporation doing tens of millions of dollars, or whether you're just getting started in business, this should be still something that you look at getting done in the early stages, because it will help you grow a lot faster as well. And, you know, it's just, for me, I wish I had done a lot of this a lot earlier, right? That's why I talk about it all now, because, you know, Serena, like, when you first get started in business, you're just like, you're doing everything, and then you look back at the journey beforehand, you go, well, only if only I had have just, I don't know, set it up this way to start with, right? Then we would be tenfold forward than what we are right now if we had have just set it up the way we've got it right now from the start.
Well, I remember my retreat business before, you know, and the effort and everything we put, there's so much knowledge that I had. But when it came to getting leads, and when it came to what do you do with the leads when they come and turning them into sales, I sucked, you know, we all sucked. And that's the original story of how I met you. So, you know, that was amazing. You showed us how to get the leads, you know, you had the formula that worked, and it worked, and we got the leads. But because I always sort of said, oh my God, can't somebody just do this for us, type of thing? You know, it's just taking so much of my energy. Hi, Mum. And, you know, it's then like, well, okay, so the system's there, and we set the system up. So you finally go through all that to make it happen. And then we get the leads, and it's like, okay, so how are we going to sell them? Well, I'm not calling them. I'm not the salesperson. I don't know how to sell on a phone. I'm not very good at that, you know. And then it would be up to the other person. And as much as, you know, they may have thought that they were pretty good, where are the sales? You know, like, it sort of didn't really come about that much. So then we had to know how to do sales and have a really good script that worked. And, you know, and of course you had all that stuff as well too. So I could say the same thing where I am now with the knowledge and what I've, you know, done with you in that process since that all finished. If I had that back then, well, it still wouldn't be going because of, you know, the closures and everything. But if that didn't happen, if what didn't happen in the world today, it'd probably be a worldwide amazing business.
Yeah, and these are the things that people have got to understand, right? Like, you know, you literally can't do everything. And if you can have people that are responsible for certain areas of your business, right? It's just like, it's so even hard to even just explain it to people until they actually experience it, right? Because a lot of it's just talk, probably, for a lot of people, right? They're just like, oh, this is a lot of talk, right? But, you know, when you're doing everything yourself, okay, you're like, what's the language you use? Oh, I'm busy. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. Right? Oh, I'm too busy. Right? You get stressed. You get pissed off. You get annoyed really easily. You get snappy. Right? I've done that. You rush. You make mistakes. All these types of things. Right? But if you had people that are just responsible for certain areas, right? You went into business with them in some way, shape, or form, right? It'll take and alleviate off the table a lot of this stress, you know, rush, mistakes, everything else, which costs a business too, by the way, right? When you make mistakes, it costs you as a business, okay? Because, you know, you're working with clients, they get annoyed, right? They, you know, all these different things. So in business right now, focus on a lot more of what you're really good at. Should we give some people like some tips? What do you think, Serena, around, you know, I guess if they are doing everything at the moment in their business, what they can do to kind of get out of that? What do you think?
Get out of doing it themselves, you mean?
Well, you know, like maybe give them some tips around, I guess, how they can move out of just doing everything themselves and start moving into, you know, a phase where they've got people that are responsible for things and certain areas of their business to help them move forward, etc.
Well, considering we do what everybody needs to be doing, it's just basically following our system, you know, like for us to replace us, you know, we set a system up that made it almost evergreen, you know, like you have what needs to be done. I can't think of the right word, but, you know, your information that can be passed to anybody, and anybody can follow that information, whatever you call that. And then you find somebody who can actually do it, which can be sort of outsourcing. So you've got the whole world to choose from. Most businesses now are online. Even if they are not, you can still so you get your leads and everything, which has to be online. There are offline ways, but, we do amazing stuff with what's online. You then, you have a really good script, which is what we have as well too for different businesses. And then you hire someone anywhere from around the world to do calls, and those calls turn into appointments. You don't just call them to sell, you call to relationship build. If you had a system set up like that, A, B, C, D, and follow it through, it's pretty much what makes the world spin around for your company.
Because if you look at it, there's not really a lot of things that a company needs to be successful, really, right? Or to operate at a higher level. One part of it is you need, it's customers, right? So customer acquisition, but it's keeping a customer, right? So customer acquisition, getting them across the first hurdle, right? That's the first thing, getting them to pay some money to your business. The second part is, keeping them long-term as well, because one-time purchases, very simple to find, not easy, very simple. But how do you get them to buy a second time, third time, fourth time, fifth, right? In the space of a year, how do you get them to do that? Because, that's where you really build your business into an empire. That's where you can do higher volumes of revenue every single month, is because you've got one client that's spending several times a year with you. Okay. And then it's just basically just mapping out what's the process to get to that point. So you need one for the front and you need one for the back. And there's actually not much involved in that either, right? Not many working parts. It's very tactical. There's lots of systems to implement, and there's tweaking and things like that to do naturally, right? One element is getting attention to your business, right? How do you get that attention to your business? The second one is, once you've got the attention, it's like touch points, right? Then it's the process to selling the product, okay? And if you can outsource those areas alone, right? Well, that actually might even be your best skill even, right? That might be what you do more of, right? I'll give you an example. So our business currently right now, we've got two main campaigns that we run. One is a list building, okay? So that's new people every single day, name, email, contact number to our business, right? That's one side to it. The second side is we're looking for a certain person who meets certain criteria to work with us specifically, right? So with that side of it brings in ultra qualified leads of people that want our product, our service, etc., right? That is all done, and that's all done from paid marketing front-end systems. Then we've got automated follow-up, and we've got a calling team, right? Me and Serena, we don't do any of this. We just look at the higher level, okay? I still do a lot of the advertising for us, and I still do a lot of the copywriting and things like that. But the thing is, once a lot of it's running, and then there's literally nothing to do. We've got guys that monitor it and all that type of stuff for us that are part of our team that actually also do it for our clients as well. So there's really nothing really involved for us on that whole first point. But if you look at it, my best skill is speaking to people, right? And bringing in new business. That's my best skill as a business owner, okay? It comes naturally to me. If I do more of it, then more of it comes. If I don't do any of it, it doesn't come, right? As much, right? Then on the back end, we've got fulfillment teams. So we've got website teams, landing page teams, we got automation teams, we've got tech support, things like that as well, to be able to help not only our business, but our clients on top of that as well. People that have specific things that they're really good at, like graphics, for example, and all these types of things too, right? So, and that's like our fulfillment. And then we've got, systems in place to sort of keep in touch with people that we do on a weekly basis as well. Okay. And in sometimes daily as well, right? Which is like part of our retention strategy as well. So a large percentage of your, so that's kind of giving you an idea on us. And then you can kind of pull what you want, leave what you don't, to go, okay, cool. This is what I'm going to do as well. But Serena sort of does a lot of the operations with a lot of our team and everything like that, because she's just really good at that. Plus, she's also really good with relationships, building relationships with clients and all that type of stuff. She deals with a lot of that sort of stuff as well. I'm good at opening the conversations and bringing the conversations into our system as well. So, we obviously, as a team, we do a lot of sort of, Serena does one thing, I do the other, and we kind of mold it together. That's why we're such a good team, right? And, from time to time, I do a little bit of tech stuff as well when things get really stuck, and we're at a point now as a company where we're bringing in and training up strategists now as well to alleviate a lot, like to be able to bring in our next phase of, clients that we're bringing in at the moment as well, as part of the overall strategy and end goal we want to hit as a company, right? So what does this mean to all of you guys? Well, your business, you may not be an agency or a training company or etc. like us, but your company is the same, but not the same. The same as in you have clients, you need to find them, sell them, and retain them. And you're going to have the same moving parts as us. You'll have a marketing team, a sales team, an operations team, and you'll have software and automation type tools that you use as part of it. And you'll consistently tweak all of these elements in your business. True or not true, Serena? True or true?
True or true? Very true. True or true?
True or true? 100%. And these are the things that the sooner you can put these things in place, actually, the sooner you'll start to grow. Because we see it every time we bring another thing in place, right? We do end up getting more growth. And I think it's partially as well because, hey, now we've got that additional commitment there to meet, an extra person counting on us to be able to get the result, right? And to do what we got to do, right? And, I seem to thrive under pressure. I know Serena thrives under pressure too, as much as she, we can both get into overwhelm with things from time to time, which happens in business, right? And I don't think too many people really speak about all this sort of stuff, right? The overwhelm that you can get into, the stress of getting things done by certain timelines with people, and so managing expectations, all these different things that can come into it all as well. Like a lot of people just don't seem to speak about all this, I don't think. But if you can get yourself to a point where you can be doing this, like you can be under pressure and then go, okay, I need to bring somebody else in to do this. I need to bring someone in to do this, etc. You will see that you will get growth faster. Sometimes you got to do this.
You'll have a little bit of pressure at the beginning, just while you're doing the handover and getting them up to to scratch of where you want them to be. So there'll be a little bit of you still doing it, you teaching someone, you both doing it together. So that'll be at the start. Once it runs smoothly after that, then it's much better, much easier.
Yeah, it's just that initial training side, hey, this is what I do, this is how I do it. But I think it's also being open to new ways as well, right?
And also, going back to you talking about the overwhelm. Yes, there's overwhelm and there's pressure. I love pressure. I can handle pressure. Sometimes I say it's stress, but it's not really stress. It's just pressure to really get something done. The overwhelm is, different for different people depending on, how you do your thing. So the overwhelm for me is when there's too much information, too much words, too much like going right out there. And that's when I go into overwhelm. I like to bring it back close and work with this first and get that done and then go to something else. If I get too much overwhelm, I was going to say I kick off my shoes, but I don't wear shoes anyway. I just walk outside and I've got a little seat out there out in this beautiful Bali garden, and I sit on the seat with my feet bare feet on the ground, and I breathe and do some breathing meditational stuff. And amazing what that does to you. And then I come back in and get straight back into it again. What I'd like to do is go outside and jump in the pool. But God, then you've got to deal with, get wet towels and washing your hair all the time.
Come on, be honest. You just want to go out and scream sometimes. That's okay.
I think I would just do that here anyway.
Love it, love it, love it. But look, we're just going to come on here and tell you guys, we're not going to sugarcoat things. Things can be tough, right? And we want to share, obviously, what we go through as well, so you guys can kind of see what we do and how, we are under pressure, same as you guys, right, to get things done as well. And a large percentage of it is too because we expect ourselves to do this as well by certain timeframes as well, and to be as quick as possible. And we're always looking for ways to be quicker at what we do as well. And it's all part of, retention and all these different things as well, right? So it's how it is. And obviously there's the added of this as well. Apparently that's true, but I don't know. Is that true, Serena?
I don't know.
Jared would make you scream sometimes, Serena.
Should
Do you see the comment?
Yeah, I just saw it now.
Just be honest. Who cares?
I don't know about scream. Maybe it's just the same as what I did before.
Okay, that's about it.
Just
that was pretty loud.
But then again, I do that to him as well. It's our language. Sometime when you're typing and you're busy and you type fast, it just doesn't make sense. And you sit there and you're reading it and you go, what does that mean? And then of course you're asking, is that worry about it?
Yeah. Dear. So let us know in the comments, what have you got from today's episode? I want to hear what you guys have got from today's episode, right? Because naturally we talk about a range of different things. We don't only just talk about marketing, but we want to talk about other things as well. So, what questions do you guys have? If you got some questions, let us know below. And also just let us know what you got from this live today as well, because it's pretty important that you're actually getting information from it. So if you just want to note one thing that meant something to you today and something that you're going to walk away and actually do now, that would be great. Because, we can give this information, but if nothing's done with it, it's just information.
And still, even if they're watching and still do nothing, you'll never get any further unless you do sort of take some sort of action. And the thing is, you may be confused as to, I just don't know where to start. What sort of action will I take? Hey, just in fact, I'll put it in the chat. Set up a time. Chat.
Set up. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a marketing manager, someone to run all of your marketing for you, let us know into the comments. Just put marketing below into the comments, and we'll reach out to you with all the details, of course. Or you can just use that link that was just put into the comments there as well. And yeah, we look forward to being able to help you out.
That's what we're here for. And look, we may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm just reading Sue's message. But, you know, we certainly will know that anyway once we speak to you, because, you know, sometimes this is not for some people. It just depends on where you're at with your business, but it may be in the future. So knowing what you've got there for the future is good to find out anyway.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning into today's episode. Absolutely love that you all show up and take some action as well. Thanks for joining in as well, Sue. Really appreciate you jumping on and keeping your commitment up, which has been great. Remember this one thing in closing. Just remember, if you do not fight for your own freedom, absolutely nobody else will. So every single day you must get out there. Every single day you must take action. Every single day you must make it happen. And remember to be the warrior. We will see you on the next episode this Friday, 1 p.m. Perth time, 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. New Zealand. Look forward to it. See you then. Bye.
Unless he's late, of course, unless Jared's late.
Yeah, just leave me another maybe 10 minutes afterwards. See you guys.